Hey, have you ever wanted to know what title insurance is and what the title company does for your real estate transaction? Hi, I'm Rob Proctor, broker owner of At Home Real Estate Company, located in Northern Colorado and your hometown real estate professional. Hey, make sure you subscribe as I make new videos all the time, and that way you won't miss out when the new ones come around. Hey, I'm here with Adrien Ruckle with Equity Title Company here in Loveland. Adrien is going to help us understand what a title company's role is in the real estate transaction. Hi, Adrien.
Hi, Rob.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much
good.
for this
Hey,
opportunity.
Yeah, and thanks for being with us. I think we get some good questions that you can answer, and hopefully it'll let people know what's going on.
Absolutely.
Okay, the first question is, what is title insurance and why does the buyer and seller care?
Okay, great. So title insurance, that's what we do here at Equity Title, and it is so important to your transactions. So basically, we take a look at the property of what it is currently and what it has been in the past, and we just take a look at everything and we make sure that any liens or judgments or things of public records are clear, so that way when you're the new buyer, you're coming into a clear and free property to start it on your own journey.
You'd hate to buy a house and maybe 6 months down the road find out that there's a lien on the property.
So again, if you have title insurance, we'll do all that research, and if anything is missed in our research, then we'll be the ones to either pay for it or go back to the seller and get it resolved, so again that your buyer has it free and clear and
cool.
No worries for them.
So it really is insurance.
It really is.
Okay, the second question I got is, we all want a smooth transaction. So do you have any tips that will help the buyer and seller to make that happen?
Of course. So on the seller side, if you are working with Rob, great agent here locally, just to make sure you do have all your information on the house. That way, if you do have a mortgage that you're paying, have that information handy and ready. If you own your property in a trust or an LLC, make sure you have all the paperwork kind of showing what that entails and who's involved with that. On the buyer's side, if you're getting financing, it's really important to work with a local lender. So if you don't know one already, Rob again can make great suggestions for you of who to work with. And then just to make sure that the title company and your agent does have all that information, because we'll need to talk with the lender as well.
Okay, that's good things to do, because I would think that if you didn't have that together, it just makes things, you're constantly calling and trying to get that information. Things can happen.
Yeah, and then it can delay the closing or just the transaction in person, and you don't want people to lose out the house that might be their dream home just because we weren't prepared.
Yeah, especially in the hot market, I think that's very, pertinent, because there may be more than one, be a backup offer on the property, and say you don't perform and you lose the property, guess what? Another buyer is going to get it.
Absolutely.
Okay, here's one. Why is it important to get this? To have the seller fill out the seller verification form right from the beginning?
So it's super important. So once you guys have the completed contract and you get it over to us at the title company, we'll send out what's called a seller verification form, and it goes to your sellers. So if it's one person, two person, it'll go up to everybody. And it basically just helps us get a lot of the information. So again, we don't have any delays. Especially if you have a homeowners association, those are really sometimes hard for the title company to track down because they're not necessarily public records. So if you know that you have a pool association and a management company, if you fill out that form, it'll kind of ask you all of those questions. So then we're not kind of shooting in the dark to find the right company to do those. And it also just helps us to know, is there going to be a seller mail out? Are both people still in town? Have they already relocated to another place? Because if they have, then we need to set up that to get mobile notaries and those kinds of things. So anything that we can know ahead of time just helps again to make it a smoother transaction.
Next one's one that I bet a lot of people don't know about, and it's surveys. And who can request them, and why would we need them?
Okay, sure. Yeah, surveys are always kind of a question that comes up, not just for our buyers and sellers, but just on our industry in general. So surveys can be requested in 3 different ways. Sometimes a buyer could just want it. Sometimes the lender could request it, or sometimes us, the title company, could request it. Usually from the title perspective, Our underwriters and examiners always reserve the right to put on a survey. The only time we really usually more have it is if it is in like a new construction, or if it's up in the mountains, or if it's farmland where it would be a meets and bounds. So a lot of our stuff that would be here in town in your regular subdivisions, we wouldn't really request it. The only time they would do it here in town is if you add it onto your property. So maybe you have a bi-level that was built in the 70s and you added on a whole extra shed or extended out to the house, then we'll require a survey because we want to make sure that you're staying within a lot and where you live and not putting encroachments or other things in surrounding properties.
So meets and bounds, I know a lot of people out there, isn't that where you have a really big, long property description?
Yes, yeah. So again, they're kind of ones if you're up in the mountains and you have like a 14-acre property, those kind of have a lot longer legal description, or sometimes out in the country, maybe you own some farmland, or working capital farm, kind of that kind of stuff.
Okay, this is one that I think probably over the last couple of years is becoming more prevalent. So what's the big deal on wiring instructions and fraud?
Sure. So it's kind of a hot topic everywhere, even if you haven't purchased a lot of properties, just watching the news and being around it. There's so many smart people that are stealing money left and right out there. And so we do try to prefer to get wired money to us, and that's like your earnest money. So when you, are putting in your contract and saying, I'm the buyer and I have interest of buying this, and you'll give us your $2,000 to $10,000 earnest money, we'll usually have that wired to us or dropped in a cashier's check just to make sure your funds are safe. But with the wiring instructions, we actually will pick up the good old telephone and talk to people.
Go figure. Yeah.
So we'll always want to verify everything in the bank and stuff over the phone. And then, especially like if we're sending you wiring instructions because you're sending it to us, we'll still want you to call to verify that everything is actually what we sent. Because again, we have those smart hackers now that can get into people's emails and change it, and then your money can go far away.
Thank you for helping us understand what the role of a title company is and how it helps them during their transaction.
Absolutely, anytime.
If you have more questions or need information on title insurance or a title company, hey, give Adrien a call. I'll have the number located below. Also, if you need more information on Northern Colorado real estate or its exceptional quality of life, feel free to give me a call. My information is below as well. If you like this video, you might like the one listed above. We'll see you next time.
Bye.